Hello and welcome to my channel. Sorry if I don't sound quite as well. I'm kind of under the weather still. However, there are so many different ways to build Aggravate teams that I wanted to go over my main three flavors of Aggravate and kind of break down
Traveling
what
to
each
other worlds
is.
is all that
Now,
anyone
I'm mainly
seems to
going
be
to be
writing about
focusing
these
on
days.
using Yamiko or Kaching as the damage carry, but there are other
Goodness
options in the
knows what
game.
they find so
It's mainly
disappointing
due to the
about their
characters
own
that I
world.
own compared to what's available. As they're interchangeable, I'll be using a coin flip to decide who I'll be using when I showcase the Aggravate teams later on. Now, to go over the characters that support our carry in these teams and what makes them good in the said teams, I'll break it down by enemy. I'm going to start with Anemo. In general, all Anemo characters can use the 4-set Viridescent Veneer set to shred Electro Resist from enemies, so all options can make use of that. So, starting with Kozwa, he provides excellent crowd control, and when he scrolls Electro, he actually provides elemental damage based off his elemental mastery. So it's a great power option to add to an Aggravate team. Next would be Venti. Where's he here? Here he is. I don't actually have him. However, he has the best crowd control in game, and when his burst infuses with Electro, he'll provide 15 energy back to the Electro units in the party. So that could be good if you're using like lower con Yamiko, although Giching really doesn't need the extra energy because her burst is only like a 40 cost and she generates a lot of energy herself. Sucrose, on the other hand, her grouping is okay. It's not the strongest, but it's definitely there. She also provides a buff to the party for Elemental Mastery mostly based on her EM, and then this for when she just gets a swirl. And also, if you do get some cons on her, her C6 gives an elemental damage bonus as well when it infuses with Electro. So, a very good power option as well for a 4-star. Now, there's also other characters such as, if I can find them here, Haizu and Lynette. They're basically there just for the Viridescent Veneer. They don't really have any group or much grouping at all. They do claim they do with their constellations, but it's not really all that noticeable. And then, of course, there's the healer ones you can use, such as Seiyu or Jean, to be able to consolidate the VV Shred with healing. And there's also now Cloud Retainer, which also adds a plunge attack mechanic to your Electro Carry, which can also help out. Although I can't really test it to see how much it helps out since I don't actually have Jinyan. Now, for the Electro Supports, Fischl is actually a very, very OP character. She's known as like one of the OG5, the hidden 5 stars in the game. And a lot of it comes down to this passive talent that she has, and you don't even need constellations for it. So basically, every time your active character gets an aggravate, Oz does an extra hit that does like 80% of Fischl's attack as damage, and that can aggravate too, basically compounding itself. And Fischl on a team can actually account for as much, and sometimes, if not more, than your Electro Carry does in a team for the actual damage output. So she's actually very, very strong for any type of Electro support. Now, there's also healer Electro Supports, so you can throw in you can throw in Kuki. So she'll just be able to provide healing, and a second Electro will give you Electro Resonance for more particles, which can help other teammates. And then, of course, there's also Dory. She also has extra battery in her ability on top of that. And there's a particular reason why she is a critical character for one of the flavors of Aggravate, but I'll get into that later. Next, for Dendro support, I'm going to break it down to damage support and healers, or defensive support. So, of course, Nihida is the most overpowered Dendro damage support that you have in the game. She has the strongest Dendro application out of any character in game, and sometimes it is too strong. I like to call it the OP Nikita problem. I'll get into that later. Uh, Now, she will buff Elemental Mastery to the party, to the active character, which helps your damage carry. And her E-hits will still do a fair amount of damage as well. Now, for other Dendro damage supports, Kale, if you build her right, she can do a decent amount of damage herself and apply enough Dendro to keep up the Quicken Aura for allowing your carry to still get all their aggravates. Dendro MC can also do that too. However, Dendro MC does need more energy recharge in order to really function. Now, for the defensive ones, this is where it gets interesting. Now, the first one I like to go over is Baiju. Now, he doesn't need constellations to function. My Baiju C0. He uses Catalyst Weapon, and he can take advantage of, like, Prototype Amber or Throwing Tails of Dragon Slayer, so he's very free to play friendly for that. His Elemental skill heals the entire party at once. His Burst is actually quite unique. This is the main reason why I'd use him over other Dendro Supports in some cases, because it will heal your active character for a large amount every 2.5 seconds, but it also applies like a tiny shield onto your character as well. Now, that shield is not that big. It's like, well, a Heliotroll Rock Throw can break that shield. But that's not there to reduce damage taken. All it's there for is to provide 1 instance of interruption immunity every 2.5 seconds. And in Abyss, that is noticeable, and it does make you feel a lot more tanky on the field. So that was the main reason to use him. He also has an Ascension 4 passive where he will buff Dendro reactions based on his health. So that makes him quite useful there. Next, of course, Yao Yao. She's great with the 4-set Tenacity because her bunny's constantly throwing radishes, and each radish throw refreshes the buff of attack power for the party with the 4-set Tenacity. And the 2-set Tenacity is also good for HP because she scales off HP for her healing. She doesn't need Constellations, but Constellations can be nice to have. So she does make a great budget option. And you only really need to level her skill and burst. Her skill's the bunny that throws the radishes. Her burst heals the whole party. Now, she heals plenty to keep you alive, no problem, but she doesn't give you the same feeling of tankiness that Baiju gives. And that's kind of why I often use Baiju over Yao Yao in teams where I can pick between the two of them. The other one for defensive support is going to be Kirara. I can find her in here. There she is. Now, her shield's decent in size. And I've built mine with 4-set Noblesse. So when she uses her burst, she provides the entire party an attack buff. She can get a decently strong shield on her E skill, and if you have her C6, which mine is, you can get extra elemental damage bonus as well. So she can actually give a good defensive option to prevent you from taking damage, and also give a fairly decent buff to the party to increase your damage overall. And the other part is, because her defensiveness is a shield, she also provides interruption resistance. Now, if damage does get past her shield, she's not able to heal it up, so you just have to be a bit careful on that. Okay. Now, on to the different teams, and so for the 3 team types that I go by, there is Budget Aggravate, Double Aggravate, and Aggravate Hypercarry. I'll be doing Abyss clears with each type, so now on to the Abyss. Alright, and now the first flavor of Aggravate I'm going to go through is going to be the budget version of Aggravate. So this is where I can only use 4-star supports. Now I'll need to do my coin flip for the type of carry I'm going to be use. So for Kaching, I'm going to use that for heads, and then for Yamiko, tails. Of course, Yamiko will be tails since, you know, Fluffy Foxtail Enjoyer. So let's go to Google Coin Flip. Gonna go flip. Tails. Looks like I'm using Yamiko this time. Okay. So Yamiko. Sucrose, Fischl, and Yao Yao. So Fischl for buffing and VV Shred. Fischl because she does a lot of damage. And Yao Yao for Dendro application and healing. Now, Kirara doesn't have nearly as much Dendro application, so she wouldn't be able to keep up the Quicken Aura on this team by herself, but Yao Yao should be able to do so. Alright, and I'll be back with you once I'm on the first chamber here. Alright, here we go, the first chamber. Yeah, start this by going forward.
Swirl, Mark 2. Animal test 60. To behold.
Scale my damage out.
Right here.
And these don't like to stay together.
Absorption test. Don't be scared. Ready, go! Emerge right now, right here. Nothing lasts forever. Emerge right now.
Break those shields with that.
Animal test 6308. Enhanced animal module 75. Midnight bin. Stay put.
There we go. Didn't take too much time. Here we go. Chamber 2. Start getting Electro going. Spread. Back going.
Where do you think you're watching? Right now, right here. Stand clear.
We're coming with we're told.
Wings of darkness.
For the eternal oasis.
The show's only just begun. Right now, right here, right now. Don't be scared.
Make sure my stuff is out. Now I can burst again.
Right here, right now. Emerge. Odds reveal the curtain falls. Right here.
Easy peasy. Alright, here on Chamber 3.
Emerge, right here. Animal test 60. Stay put. Animal hypostasis simulation. Stand clear. I'm always watching. Right now, right here. Emerge.
They went down quick.
Shadow Raven. Ready, go! Don't be scared. Right now, emerge. Absorption test. By royal decree.
Now we're on to the second flavor of Aggravate, which is going to be the Double Double. Now, essentially, it's 2 Electro for Electro Resonance and 2 Dendro for Dendro Resonance. And let me go to my coin flip here. Heads, which means I'm using Kaching. So Kaching, Nahida, Fischl, and I'm going to use Kirara this time, because of the buffs. Alright, and then I'll meet you on Chamber 1. Okay, here we go on Chamber 1. So what I do is run over to my spot over here.
No rest for the...
Hey! The Temple of Wisdom! Ah! Incoming with sword from shadow.
Get my damage going.
Hey! Don't blink.
They'll be dead any second now.
I see everything. Sharing my knowledge. Here, please. Wings of darkness. Incoming. Cut to the chase. Hey. Speed of light. Odds reveal. Don't blink. Hey. With sword comes shadow. Speed of light.
There we go. And he's dead. Almost. There we go. Alright, second chamber.
Your
Fine.
journey ends.
Some target practice.
Take.
Some
Rise of
Uh,
by royal
Where do you think you're going?
Cut to the chase. Hey. Shadow Raven. Speed of light with sword comes shadow.
You're coming
First
with
wave is
foretold.
done.
Dance with me.
Next wave.
The show's only just
Oz, reveal thyself. Everyone hold hands. Don't blink. Nowhere to hide.
not done yet. The eternal.
Alright, chamber 3, final chamber. Everyone has their burst back, that was great.
I see everything. The Temple of Wisdom. Here, please. Wings of darkness. Speed of light. Cut to the chase.
Get my damage rotation out.
By royal decree. Delivery. Don't blink. With sword comes shadow.
Alright, that was pretty quick. And my final flavor of Aggravate is actually Hypercarry. And I like to call it Hypercarry because the team's all about buffing your damage carry, so the damage carry does as much damage as possible, instead of trying to rely on Fischl's off-field damage to get things killed. So let's see about doing my coin flip to see which damage carry I'm going to bring. Flipping. Heads. Okay, it looks like I'm using Kaching again. It's actually preferred because my Yumiko C6 and kind of too powerful for really showing this off. So Hypercarry is going to be her, Nihida, Kazuha, and this is where Dori comes in, believe it or not. Now, just to explain a few things, even if I had like my carry plus Fischl, there still would be not enough there wouldn't be enough Electro application to compete with Nihida. So every time if you finally get like a Electro application to get an Aggravate or something like that, Nihida's E will tick, boom, there goes Electro off the enemy. So Nihida is actually great at preventing Electro from staying on the enemy, which makes it very, very difficult for Kazuha to get his Electro Swirls. And without his Electro Swirls, you don't get VV Shred, and you don't get his Elemental Damage buff. However, Dori literally bypasses that, because when her burst is out, it applies a beam to your active character that's supposed to heal them and give them energy, but it also applies Electro to them. And Kazuha can swirl that, so he can reliably get his Electro swirls while Dory's burst is active. And so Dory will battery the team, heal the team, and enable Kazuha in this case. So she's actually a great deal of comfort that makes this team feel a lot more comfortable to use. And I'll meet you in Chamber 1. Okay, Chamber 1, gonna start it like normal. Over to here.
I see everything.
Tag.
Make yourselves at home. Let's sweeten the deal.
Dory stuff going.
One with nature. One with wind and cloud.
Nowhere to hide. Hey! Got lucky that time. Incoming. Cut to the chase. Don't blink. Hey!
All right.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Second wave.
Into the wind. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Incoming. Nowhere to hide. Speed of light. Everyone hold hands. Morris.
That healing coming in handy here.
Come.
Incoming. Hey.
Okay, Chamber 2. First thing I want to do is tag, burn, get Dory stuff out.
Here's the good.
Kaz will do his thing.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my.
Since pets are summoned, I'll just quickly do this.
Cut to the chase. Lucky that time.
You're coming.
And everything's wiped out.
With me. Bloom as the flowers in God's high. The birds.
Share my knowledge.
One tick, these healers will help.
When sword comes shadow. Hey!
The eternal oasis at long last.
And dead. Alright, and the final chamber. The one time I don't get the reset on her skill.
One with wind and cloud.
I see everything. The Temple of Wisdom. Don't nowhere to hide.
The wind knows me. Clouds high.
Keep my buffs going.
Grow. Sharing my knowledge. Speed of light. With sword comes shadow.
And that was easy. Well, there you have it. My 3 different flavors of Aggravate. I'm sure you can probably come up with more, but this is how I like to break it down as for when I go building teams. And there's a lot of flexibility that's built into it, so if you don't have certain characters, so you can likely find a way to make it work with the characters that you do have. So definitely a great option and quite good for using in Spiral Abyss as a team, although Aggravate does need a fair amount of investment in your character's artifacts and stuff to actually make them quite strong. But that just comes with time with playing the game and just making sure you spend your resin properly. And you don't need to be a whale of this game in order to do well, so have yourself a good day.